Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we have another controversial topic. This one is a man that is asking the question. So let's check it out.
If you got a man that's taking care of you 100%, are you down to follow his lead without question?
What is a man who's doing everything? What does that look like?
He's paying all your bills. He's making sure that you secure.
If we're speaking from my standpoint, or we're speaking from me, then yes, I would follow a man's lead. But I'm also going to say, though, even though you are a person who gives someone security and everything else, does not mean that you still qualify to be a leader. And the reason why, and I'm only going to say this.
When you devalue leadership to just provision, I can pay bills, I can do this, that, and the other, that's not true leadership. Sometimes that safety she's looking for is not physical, it's emotional. Sometimes it's reaching deep into her mind and understanding her and listening to her and being a servant inside your relationship.
There's a lot of y'all out there, women, respectfully, that your inability to see that man as a good leader is due to your unresolved trauma for the other man who could not lead you.
Rewind!
So a lot of y'all have either seen your own fathers fail, you've seen men that you've been with before fail, and you don't trust any man to lead. So no matter how strong his resume is, you will find something to question. And you got to be real with yourself when the issue's within you and not what this man is or isn't doing.
Yeah. But when you say without question, that sounds like an employer.
Yeah.
That sounds like a boss. When you say without question, I think
Warden.
in healthy spaces, questions should be, it's welcomed. It's not even like, it's like you are allowed to voice your concern because I care about your consultation. I care about your counsel. I want to hear your opinion. I don't want you to without question me, because if I'm stepping in the wrong direction, I need you, my partner, to tell me. I'm not going to pick a woman with whom's counsel I don't trust.
Hey. See, guys, there's a lot to unpack here. Can we even start with the question? Like, let's start with the man that asked that question. So his own form of or idea of a leader or a man leading his household is a man that just provides. That's his own understanding. And let me tell you guys, that is where the problem is. A lot of men in the society, not just even men, a lot of men and women think that if a man is providing for his household, like, material provision, that he qualifies to be a leader. And that is where the problem is. Because there are a lot of people that have money, they can provide your material needs. But beyond that, they don't have anything to provide you. So for instance, when the going is good, everything is okay, he's able to provide your need. You, you know, for him, he's a leader. And the woman too also follows. That's the woman that also has that same ideology. The woman will follow the leadership because after he's providing for what we need. So by the very minute there's chaos, there's problem, there's a delay, that leadership is threatened both from the both sides. The man will start feeling insecure. He start feeling like he's not a man enough. He start feeling like he's not man enough. He doesn't have what it takes to lead his woman or his family. Even the woman will not start, demeaning the man. The woman will not start talking down on him after you not been pulling your weight. That is where the problem is. That's why you see a lot of people that when they had money, the going was good. There was so much love. But the very minute that worth was threatened, everything went downhill. So that also brings me to the point that Stephen Speaks talks about, finding, healing yourself, having unresolved trauma from your past because you've been led so many times by men that didn't understand leadership. So your own idea of leadership is warped. So you are viewing every man that comes your way with that mindset. So it needs to be addressed. And the other guy, I don't know, I keep forgetting his name. The point he also made is also very much ideal. Like, there's so much to unpack here, but I want to hear from you guys. Let me even see what people are saying in the comment section. So I have a question for the women. As a woman, what do you define leadership for a man? Or how would you define a man that's leading his household? I want to hear from the woman. And the men, what is leadership when it comes to household? What it is for you? Do you think because you're providing for a household, you qualify to be a leader in that household? And mind you, there are some households that even though the man is providing, even though the man is providing, but the woman is the one leading because she's the better leader than the man. Have you guys seen some dynamics like that? And it works for some persons actually, it works for them. And that what brings me to what the other guy said, you know, that he does not want a woman that, or this oh yes sir kind of woman, because the man is providing, the man is the one that has the money, whatever he says goes. His, you know, his ideas are not questioned, even if he's leading the family into a ditch, so long as he's the one leading, no problem. Even when the woman has a better idea, because the man feels that, oh, I'm the man of the household, so I should be the one deciding for the household. That kind of household is bound to fall into a ditch. So there needs to be a balance. Even though you are providing, that doesn't mean your you know, whatever you bring to the table should not be questioned. So I love that too. Somebody said, why do women need to be led? Because even in an organization, there needs to be a leader. There needs to be one person that is calling the shot. Even though everybody is contributing, everybody is bringing their own idea to the table, at the end of the day, one person still needs to call the shots. Because if everybody is a leader in a group, then that group is not going anywhere. Come on. I don't know why some person starts. Let me know what I want to say, but there needs to be a leader in every group, in every team. Whether it's a house, whether it's a family, whether it's an organization, there needs to be a leader if you want that household or if you want that team to thrive. But if you don't want your team to thrive, then everybody should be leading. Or let them know, like, doesn't even make sense. Like, have you ever gone in your organization and asking your organization, why do we need to have a CEO here? Why can't everybody be the one leading? Guys, it doesn't make sense. Somebody said, when he said without question, that's a red flag. Yeah. Why do you want a leadership where your leadership is not questioned? Why? So why would you want to be in that kind of leadership? That's a red flag also. Somebody said the Bible says a woman is submit. I guess you want to say a woman is to submit to her house, to her husband, like she does with Jesus. If your husband is not submitting to Christ, he will not even appreciate your submission. And that same Bible, they don't bother reading it to the next verse. Have you ever read what the next verse says? That a man, let me read that verse, because we're always only reading where the woman, it has to do with the woman. Guys, let me read what that part also says, so that we all understand. So that we all understand. We are quick to read the first one that is speaking to the woman. Then we don't read the one that speaks to the men. That one that speaks to the man is even more is even more taxing than the one for the women. Me, I even prefer the one the Bible tells me than the one is telling the man. Because the Bible is asking the man to lay his life down just like Jesus Christ did. So this is Ephesians chapter 5, verse 22 to 23. I'm reading King James Version. Wives, this is verse 22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord. Let's read the next one. Here you see what the Bible is saying. Your own husbands, because men are quick to say, oh, all women are to submit. Her own husband, not every man. You as a woman, submit to your own husband. Verse 23 said, for the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church, and he is the savior of the body. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. Husbands. Now, 25 is speaking to the husbands. People don't ever read this part. Let me read it. Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it, that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the blood. Are the husbands hearing? So in other words, the way Jesus laid his life down for the church, you, the husband, you are expected to love your wife to the extent that you are willing to lay yourself down. In other words, nothing should harm your wife when you are in the picture. You should take that harm. Any harm that will come to your wife, you should rather take it. It should not come to your wife. You know what it means that somebody loves you to the extent that are willing to die on your behalf? Tell me why you will not submit to that kind of man. So before you are quick to quote for the wife, read what the Bible is saying for the husband. Because we are quick to quote only verse 22, we forget verse 25 and 26. I don't know if you guys are getting my point. We forget verse 25. So before you even demand a woman your wife to submit to you, have you laid your life down for her? That's the question you ask yourself. Before I demand my wife to submit to me, have I laid my life down for my wife? Have I shown to her that I can lay my life down for her? So that she will trust me so much so that she submits to me without even questioning. There's no way a woman will not submit to such a man. Come on, guys. Come on now. The man, do your due diligence before you demand submission. So let me leave it at that. I don't even know, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. See you.